Right. Welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Artemis. We are going to jump straight into the game here. Commander Kier, uh, Alpha Shift has just started. You just finished up your morning routine. You just came on shift. You enter into the briefing room, and you see these two personnel here. One of them being the cargo bay manager, and one of them being the operations chief, who are currently engaged in a semi-heated argument.
So the science officer is going to speak up. Well, you see, we need this science equipment for our experiment. It's essential. This is a one-time-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study this phenomenon.
So GM, for clarity, am I playing the cargo bay manager or an engineer requesting resources?
Whichever way you want to go.
Okay.
Probably the cargo bay manager, though.
Gotcha. Okay. Look, I don't know how many times I have to tell you about this. All right? We need this space for engineering upgrades. Do you understand how important keeping the warp core in tip-top shape is, especially in the region of space that we're currently in?
Upgrades can be done later. This is a one-time-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you know how long I've waited for the moment to study this phenomenon? Do you know I have been sent messages by top scientists of the Federation to get the exact, precise amount of data for this event, and I need this equipment.
How long have you been in the fleet?
What does that matter?
How long have you been in Starfleet?
2 months.
You ever seen a
I
warp
was
core breach?
enlisted as a specialist just for this project.
You ever seen a warp core breach?
Well, theoretically on simulations, of course. I know how they work.
Do you want to see one in real life?
No, of course not. But you must understand, we will never get an opportunity like this for 5,000 years.
Look, all I can say is that not only am I and others in the engineering department, cargo bay manager, responsible for the engineering on this ship, including keeping the warp core in tip-top shape. By extension, we are also responsible for the lives on board, including your own. I don't care if this is a 5,000-year event, all right? If everybody on this ship even has a remote chance of experiencing a warp core breach, look, do you want to have to explain that to Starfleet upper management?
But the data we could gather from this, it could benefit millions, not even billions of people.
And you're willing to sacrifice your life and the lives of...
Gentlemen. Thank you. Now, I believe there is probably a solution to this problem.
Commander, I must insist, I was sent to this vessel with this express purpose of performing this scientific study.
I'm sorry it didn't work out for you.
What is the problem exactly? And please explain it without shouting.
Commander, there's a dispute over resource allocations in the cargo bay. The officer here, and he'll motion to his counterpart in the argument, would like the space to be taken up with supplies for science experiments. And we've originally reserved that space for parts needed for an engineering upgrade on the ship. My concern in this situation is that if these upgrades are not made, if the space is not allocated for these parts for the warp core, it could endanger the ship potentially. And I do sympathize with this gentleman here. I do understand how frustrating it can be, especially as your first project with the fleet. But my responsibility is to this ship, and I think making space for engineering upgrades and the supplies needed is what we should do.
Surely that can wait. I will only be here for a month at tops, and I need every part of these scientific equipment to get all of the data possible for this study of a micro wormhole.
Granted, both projects seem very important. One is for the ship, the other is for a scientific unit. I understand both sides of this disagreement. However, I think there needs to be a compromise here. Have you tried looking for other ways to store the equipment on either side here?
Well, this is sensitive equipment. It needs to be stored in a very precise way, unless it can get damaged.
Have you ever thought about storing it in your own quarters?
My own quarters are far too small to store the equipment necessary.
Maybe cramped, but I'm sure you can make room if it's that important.
Commander, you must realize the significance of this. The Daystrom Institute, as well as the Federation Council, has set a very high priority on this research being completed as soon as possible.
Commander, we could consider storing the engineering parts in. I'm sure there's an unused room on the ship. It wouldn't be ideal, sir. The only thing I can say is that we should guard it. The equipment is volatile, and, well, quite frankly, Commander, I'm not sure what Commander Kane would think of me for opting to store highly sensitive engineering equipment in a non-contained cargo bay.
And the sighted equipment, could it be stored elsewhere?
No, absolutely not. It must remain where it is until it is ready to be deployed.
We're talking about it's going to a cargo bay. What exactly needs to be deployed?
It is a specifically built probe, larger than usual probes. It's not like your space probes that you fire and study astronomical phenomena. This is a purposefully built probe. It's on the verge of being a satellite. It's once moved, it cannot be moved until it must be deployed. It's extremely sensitive, which is why it's stored in a very particular way, in a particular case, in a particular box.
Do we have locations that we could store these the engineering equipment that's essentially, I guess you could say, a shell game, or remove one set of equipment that's could be moved elsewhere into a vacant room while we store the engineering equipment in its place?
The cargo bay manager will turn to the science officer. How long will you need the cargo bay for your experiments?
We will deploy the probe once we're in range of the phenomenon in 10 days. After that, we can deploy the satellite and the space will be all yours. I can promise you that.
10 days. He'll open up his, he'll grab his pad, begin keying in a few things. Well, Commander, it just so happens that there's an unused science storage facility on board the ship. It's off of Lab 4. You look up at the science officer. I suppose we could temporarily store engineering equipment in a science lab storage area while you conduct your experiments in the cargo bay.
Very well, do what you have to do, as long as this works.
He'll turn to the commander. Commander, if we do this, I would recommend shielding where we can on the facility and armed guards as well. This is highly sensitive equipment, and if anyone were to get into it, could present sabotage opportunities.
I would like a full list of what the equipment is that we are carrying before I order the chief of security to place guards on a storage locker.
Of course, Commander. He'll pick up the pad. Walk it over to her. Oh, don't know if I can move it. So this is theater of mine. He'll walk it over to her, hand it to her. It's not like it's, well, here, and he'll hand it over. There's everything here from calibration equipments. I mean, if one of these things were just moved or reprogrammed just a half centimeter, there's no telling what it could do to the engines on the ship. It is sensitive equipment, Commander.
And where is this equipment now?
It's currently in Cargo Bay 2, Commander. We'll have to move it out.
Are we in middle of space right now, GM?
Yes. You're cruising along at warp 6.5, heading to your next point of interest.
The science probe that needs to be deployed, that sounds like it's the size of a shuttlecraft. Could we not move it to the shuttlecraft or to the shuttle bay?
Commander, again, I must insist that this satellite don't be moved. It has sensitive equipment and some, well, highly unusual structure to it that makes if moving it and even transporting could hinder its functionality.
Then how did you get on board the ship in the first place?
Very carefully.
And could it not be moved very carefully to the shuttle bay, where it might be easier to deploy?
No, I don't see how, Commander. Not without risking the structure of the contents.
We could drop out of warp and put the ship in 0G, those areas to move it, which should allow for a much smoother transfer.
Well, something could bump into it. If everything is free floating, that's also out of the question. It must not be disturbed until it is deployed.
The cargo bay is stacked full equipment. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble grasping the problem here. Exactly. If we can't move 2 boxes, then maybe we need to find another box to move.
I'm not sure what. I understand what you mean, Commander.
What else is in the cargo bay?
I wouldn't know.
Commander, the issue isn't so much that we could shift things around. The issue is that both of these sets of equipment are highly sensitive equipment. We have certain areas of the cargo bay specifically sectioned off for equipment like this to keep it distinct from less sensitive equipment. And so the capacity that we have for those areas of the cargo bay with sensitive equipment is, well, sir, currently maxed.
So everything in that cargo bay is sensitive equipment, is what you're telling me.
No, Commander, everything that's been designated sensitive equipment is currently maxing out the storage facilities that we have for sensitive equipment. We could shift some other things around that's not very sensitive, but we have that cargo bay section specifically meant for, well, sensitive equipment like engineering parts, he'll motion over scientific equipment. It's, well, shielded, specialized storage area. That part of our storage is maxed out.
And there's no other place on the ship that could be used to store sensitive equipment.
The storage holds next to Lab Bay 4. Lab 4, I guess. We'll go with the GM suggestion. We could also possibly use the holodeck, Commander. Again, Commander, the issue is not that we don't have the space. It's all of this is highly sensitive equipment. And, well, quite frankly, Commander, I'm responsible for this highly sensitive equipment. If anything happens, it's on my head.
I'm in the same position. Should something happen to my equipment, I will lose all my credibility in the scientific community.
Commander, I think we could make the necessary modifications. We can move the engineering equipment. My suggestion would be storage hold next to Lab 4. again, I would recommend some sort of security or something like that. It's very equipment. If it's reprogrammed, if it's compromised, it could compromise the ship.
Well, what is the equipment exactly?
Well, Commander, as you can see on the pad here, largely calibration equipment for the warp core. Essentially, it's keeping the antimatter matter reaction contained adequately. It's everything from the surrounding energy fields to make sure that that energy that's generated is channeled in the right direction. Very fundamentally, it's calibration equipment to make sure the energy is contained in the warp nacelles and it doesn't leak out and potentially cause a warp core breach.
Okay. In the cargo bay,
I'm
is
sorry?
there anything in the cargo bay? Is there anything that is less sensitive that can be moved? It said that specific engineering equipment for the warp core and the science project is what I'm asking.
There is. It's in the parts of the cargo bay that are not for sensitive equipment. With your orders, I'm happy to move sensitive equipment to areas that are not rated for it. But 10 days is pushing it, man. We're happy to execute on your orders, though.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a priority list of what is needed to maintain ship functionality and prioritize them. Now, obviously, the science equipment is going to stay at the highest priority for the time being. But go through the list of everything that's in the cargo bay. And I want to know exactly whatever's the lowest priority, it can be moved to the other storage near Lab 4.
All right, Commander. We'll put that list together. We'll send it off to you, and at the same time, we'll make preparations for Lab 4 storage facility to contain this equipment.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Commander. I'll make sure you get special credit in our research paper once this project has been completed successfully.
Commander, I would like to lodge a complaint. That sounds like bribery.
Bribery? How dare you?
Gentlemen, I don't want credits. I just want this matter to be resolved. Now, please, go resolve it per my specifications.
Yes, Commander. I'll send that list to you ASAP.
Heavy is the crown,
Yeah.
Commander. Alrighty, good job, everybody. We are going to head to one of the cargo bays. Where we will catch up with Commander Rick. Or sorry, Lieutenant Ricks. I'm giving you promotions that you shouldn't have. Ricks, you are in one of the cargo bays with your security team. And again, this is in the morning, right when Alpha shifts start. And you and your team are beginning your day doing a standard inventory check of one of the cargo bays. Basically ensuring that all the supplies are accounted for and where they're supposed to be. And
Okay.
I threw 4 characters there, so if anybody wants to volunteer, just feel free to take one and have some fun.
I will take the unnamed security officer at the bottom.
Do you want to name that character so I can address them in a proper way? Then, hey, you there.
Well, if you'd like to, you can replace it with the security officer I threw in earlier, Theric Thazan.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Where is that? There it
Supporting
is.
character, security, no picture yet, but he's an old Andorian.
Direct. Okay.
Hey, there we go. You have the floor, Commander. Or, Jesus, I keep doing it. Lieutenant Ricks.
All right, everyone, you know the drill. Check the manifest. Check the cargo. Then double check the manifest and double check the cargo. Try and get this done before either of us go to sleep.
Aye, sir.
Yes, sir.
I take it we just spread out around the room and start categorizing. Okay. So just to check here, who's playing who again?
I'll play Hull.
Okay.
Hull will lean over to is it Bazan? Yeah, it looks like Bazan. Join Starfleet security and checking cargo, huh?
Doctor muted?
Maybe. All right. In the meantime, Hull will just talk to himself.
For shit's sake, I was muted. Sorry.
Yeah, we thought.
Uh, that- yeah, well, part of the routine on shipboard life. Better than it could be. This box is right. What about you? This what you thought you'd be doing when you signed up for security?
Be honest, I had visions of glory in my head when I signed up. And
Visions of glory. Let me tell you something. There's not really a lot of glory in security. I went through the Cardassian War. There's no glory in that either. Best thing you can do is hope that your days are calm, and that the worst thing you have to do is yell at someone and check boxes. This stack's correct.
box is correct. Well, I haven't even gotten to yell at anybody.
Give it time. It'll happen.
He'll look back at Rex. So what do you think of the lieutenant?
I've worked with worse. I've worked with better. He knows what he's doing. He's friendly about it. Doesn't bust your ass for no reason.
Kind of a tough nut to crack. I've tried to engage him in conversation, and well,
What'd you try to talk about?
you know, hobbies, interests. Tried to describe my last holodeck outing, actually. Bit of a hike.
And how did he take that? This stack's right.
Well, just kind of stared at me. Kind of got the
There's a
sense
universal
of,
translator on.
yeah, it was.
I'll
Yeah.
remember. He's a security chief. He's got to maintain a little bit of distance.
For a
But
Bolian, though?
even Bolians. Question: were you trying to talk to him while on the job, or were you in the mess hall?
We were posted.
It might be part of it. Does take his job seriously. Next time, try catching him at dinner or on break or something. He might open up to you a little more. Also, ask him about himself. Don't lead with your own interests.
Good point. Box is correct.
This stack is done. Let's move to the next one.
Oops, sorry, wrong message.
Oh, okay. So what brought you into Starfleet?
Eh. Young, hot-blooded. Needed something to do. Knew I wasn't going to make it through the academy, so just enlisted. I thought, kind of like you, go out there, see the galaxy, maybe a little glory. You learned glorious for Klingons.
Yeah,
His
well,
box is correct.
that does sound a bit like me. All of a look around. Box 062. It should be in this area of the cargo bay.
Let me see. And I'll walk over and I'll run my tricorder over the box he's referring to.
According to the manifest, the box 062 should be here, but
You're right.
Lieutenant, he'll call Rex over.
Yes. And he comes over to you.
Missing box.
Which one?
062, sir.
Manifest says it should be self-sealing stem bolts and replacement isolinear chips.
Well, not significant equipment, but still, we need to find it. Does it say where it last was handled?
I've
GM?
got a load record for it. Don't see any sign of it being moved recently.
Lieutenant, everything that I'm seeing says it should be right here in cargo bay.
continue checking the rest of the equipment. I'll check in with Commander Kane, see if any of his personnel got something without registering it.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Ricks to Commander Kane, come in, please.
Kane here. What's going on, Rex?
Well, sir, we're doing a check on the cargo manifest in cargo bay, and we've just found that one of the boxes is missing, containing self-sealing stern bolts and isolinear.
Isolinear chips replacements.
Do you know if any of your personnel got it without registering it?
GM Kane is gonna look through his own crew, his own direct reports manifest, I guess. Is there anybody who's registered as taking that box or equipment? Okay. Well, Lieutenant, not seeing that anybody in engineering took it or at least logged it as being taken. Is it in a closet down there somewhere?
I'll see. We'll finish our check here, and I'll get back to you if we still haven't found it.
Understood. Thanks, Lieutenant.
Rick's out. All right, everybody. We seem to have at least one case missing. Let's finish the check in this room, see if it turns up. Otherwise, we'll see what we do from there.
All right.
Make sure nothing else is missing.
All right. As you guys start to search for the missing box, can everybody here give me an insight or reason with security difficulty of, we'll call it 1.
Okay. Theric has a focus in observation. Would that count here?
Yes.
Not sure this is going to work, but would forensics as a focus work?
I'll take it.
Awesome.
Four successes, dear God.
Got a pretty good personality.
Gain 5 total. And since you technically all got it correct, I'm just going to roll a d6. And whatever it lands on is who gets the info. I'll just spread everyone out over the cargo bay.
Think I found it. I'm just gonna look closer at it, see if it's been manipulated or opened, rather. Just for my reference, is it placed, stacked in another place, or is it just completely off the room?
It's been stacked in a different place.
Okay, I am also going to open it, see what's inside.
Sorry, coughing fit. There you go.
Empty. I'm gonna scan the interior of it, see if I can detect anything.
Give me insight, security, difficulty 2.
I'll give you a threat for bold.
I do enjoy threat. Ooh, that was to the wrong place.
I thought so.
That's the right place.
Can I see the storage? Where's the storage locker in the cargo bay?
Oh, sorry, I meant the box.
The box. Okay. Everyone gather at me.
Aye, sir.
There's an energy signature coming from this box.
Phasers?
Not yet, but stay alert. I have a feeling this box didn't only contain isolinear chips and self-sealing stem bolts.
I will run
Lieutenant
my
Riggs to
beacon.
Commander Kane. I could use you in the cargo bay as soon as you're able.
For self-sealing stem bolts, Lieutenant?
Well, you might have gotten something other than you wished for, Commander.
I'll be right down.
While he's transiting, I'm going to be running my tricorder over the outside of the container.
Looking for anything in particular, or just scanning?
Scanning, seeing if I can identify what's on the interior before we open it up.
Mr. Hall, can you please check the manifest, see who ordered this box?
Yes, sir. And Hull will scan the manifest.
All right, Kane, can you give me a insight security diff 1?
Sir, this appears to be a standard cargo order. Honestly, it's placed under auto ordering most of the time, just standard equipment. Yeah, nothing substantial.
Which means anyone could have gotten it in here.
Oh, sorry, I had to chew my bite. Kane will walk in. Walk up to the team.
Commander Glenn, you could join us.
Looks like quite the party, Lieutenant. How can I help?
Well, I think we might use your skill to determine what is actually up with this box. Although I'd like to hear what what Mr. Thassan has found out. Please report.
It's reading as an energy signature. Not sure what kind, but I think there's a hidden compartment here. And
Open it.
I'm gonna reach to, yeah, I'll open it. I'm assuming it's empty on the inside from what I can tell.
Do you open the hidden compartment or just
Oh,
looking in the
we
box?
opened the box. We hadn't opened that yet.
Yeah, the box is empty.
Okay.
You know, the main storage box.
Then I'll reach down and try and open what I believe to be a hidden compartment. Do I need to make any kind of roll or?
Nope, I'm typing it to you now.
Gotcha. I reach in, pull out a hologram isolinear stack. Sir? It's a holodeck memory bank, I think. And I will hold it out for Chief Kane.
Kane will look at it. He'll take out his tricorder and scan it.
Well, definitely this contraband of some sort.
According to my readings, this is standard holodeck program chip. It's what we would slot into a holodeck to read a new scenario or new program.
Can you determine what it is without having to put it in the holodeck itself?
GM, I'm assuming there's a way for us to scan this chip and read the relevant data without actually plugging it in, correct?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a control engineering diff 1.
Computer systems for a focus?
Sure.
Okay. We have a lot of threads. I'll just roll it. Cool.
Oh, gain a momentum. So I think you guys are max.
Interesting. Jim, I'm gonna ask another question, or I'm gonna ask a question. One sec.
Well, you got the momentum for it.
One sec. Well, Lieutenant, from what I can tell, looks like holonovels. From what I'm seeing, this very likely restricted content under Starfleet regulations. So makes sense that somebody would try to hide it to get it on the ship. I mean, yeah, pretty gritty stuff as well. Attack on Outpost 38. There's a few Cardassian prison holonovels. I mean, it's restricted content, Lieutenant.
Might not endanger the safe ship at the moment, but this is still contraband.
You want us to take it to evidence locker, sir?
Yes, I'll inform the commander. See what
Aye,
see
sir,
what
right
he
away.
wants to be done with it. What do you want us to do with the? Actually, never mind. Keep the box as well as evidence.
All right. Paul, you want to help me move this?
Sure.
I know.
Why not?
Glorious duty.
Can add moving boxes to my resume.
Thank you for your assistance, Commander Kane. I'm sorry to have troubled you with what seemed to be a trifling matter.
No, not at all. There's contraband holodeck programs in our cargo bay. I mean, I've seen alcohol. I've seen other violations of federal or Starfleet regulations. I honestly never seen anything, well, with violent holodeck content. This is a first for me.
Well, if you have the time, be sure to write down a list of what you've encountered in your days. It's good to have experiences to draw from.
Well, other ships, Lieutenant, but I'll make a list.
As I'm carrying the box out the door, there kind of calls over Tarkalian eels.
Ha. Never seen a living animal. That's the first time for me.
Let's hope no one tries. I'd hate with ending up with a dead pet. It's a common way.
All right. Well, Lieutenant, let me know if there's anything else I can do. I am going to go back to engineering.
Thank you, Commander. Okay, the rest of us, let's finish up here. Still got 5 more cargo bays to go through.
Cole will just sigh and his face will drop.
No, you're helping me carry a large box, remember?
No, that's true. I am, but once he hears that from the lieutenant, he's just like, oh God.
You have to get back here as soon as you're done.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else you would like to do here, Rix, before we head to the next part?
Unless it's integral to the part, he will report this to Commander Kier, but he will do that at a later time, unless it's relevant to the plot.
Okay. So we will go ahead and head to the sick bay. Doctor, it's pretty much filled with doing. Let me get to the part. Pretty much just conducting exams, like routine physicals and stuff for members of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever wants to, feel free to grab any characters I have here and have fun.
Could you add in my my supported character, Giggle, instead? One of them.
Yeah, one second, I gotta get to the supporting characters.
Thank you.
I'm going to finish running a intradermal regenerator over this engineer's shoulder and say, "All right, that's patched up. Try not to lift anything heavy over your head for the next couple of days. And all right, we have anti-gravs for that kind of thing. You're good to go."
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Doctor.
All right. And who's next? Mr. Taryov, do we have any scheduled appointments for today, or are we just treating the incoming?
Nothing is happening as far as I know.
Okay. I think
I'm
this is
just gonna go over the surgical equipment again, see if we're up to date on that.
I think this is the fourth engineering strain injury. Excuse me. The fourth strain injury on an engineer I've treated this week. I might have to go down there and see what's going on at some point.
Well, they always end up hurting themselves.
Yes, but there
Always
are
no fairness.
precautions that can be taken.
Someone should teach them a course in taking care of themselves, but they won't do that. Ugh.
I'm sure if we could put it in terms of mechanical inefficiency of injured crewmen, they might listen to us, but engineers are going to engineer. Actually, most of the engineers I've dealt with have been pretty compliant about when I tell them they need to change something, but
Then you
Yeah.
not work with many engineers. Every engineer I've had to work with has been stubborn and not wanting to do anything medically important whatsoever. Hell,
have you been working with Telluride engineers?
well, of course I have had my share of Tellurites, and they take some arguments to win over, but it seems to be a general trait among all engineering personnel.
Starbase 12. I had a lieutenant commander in charge of, what was it? It was the docking area maintenance, Telluride. Absolutely the most stubborn man I've ever worked with. I don't know what I could have said to get through to him sometimes, but occasionally he would listen to me. And then 2 weeks later, he's back on one of my bio beds with some new kind of injury.
That's nothing. I was in the field once. One of the leading engineers was repairing something, I don't know. And there was a rupture in one of the power conduits. His leg was pretty much torn to shreds, and I had to say he had to get to medical to save his leg, and he just said, "No, amputated. I need to fix this."
Oh, Lord.
And so I amputated it.
Really? In the field?
Of course, that's what I do.
Ugh.
Let's just say he wasn't happy with me after, but hey.
I don't think he would have
He
been
told me
happy
to
with
do
you
it,
either way
so-
at that point.
A lovely conversations you're having, but can you do something about my hand? It won't
Ah,
it won't
yes.
stop shaking, and it really hurts.
Shall I cut it off?
No. Don't need to amputate anything on this poor science officer. All right, just a moment, please, and I'm going to run a scan over this person.
I'll be just over here if you need me.
That might be for the best until you get that chop-happy attitude back under control, Mr. Giggle.
All right, doctor, go ahead and give me a reason or insight medicine diff 1.
I will do insight medicine.
Back up the definitely full. God, I cannot type today.
Rec is hard, words are harder.
Yeah, I'm reading back what I typed to you guys, and like, God, I cannot type today. Letters are in the wrong place. Words are misspelled.
Same thing happens to my fingers when it gets cold outside.
Could be it. It is actually cold down here finally. Although I don't think you guys would consider 60 cold.
Are you in Florida?
South Texas.
Then 60 is cold. I'm also formerly from a subtropical region. Yes, you've overworked a muscle group in your arm. That's probably why. Nurse, 10 cc's of hycortoline, please. Once again, I will state, people are overexerting themselves on this ship. I might have to have a talk with the commander about this.
No, it's just this deadline we have for this Portalhead project.
All right,
Normally,
I
it's not like
administer the
this.
hypospray. Yes, well, you're not going to make the project either way if you can't control your hands. Do make sure you schedule yourself some short breaks at the very least. Nice hot cup of tea might soothe the nerves, and maybe some stretching in the morning. And after this project is done, I'm going to recommend at least a full day of relaxing.
Sounds. Can't wait.
Well, try not to make anything worse for yourself before that time. Do take it easy with this arm. Uh, Hand me that thrombic modulator really quick. This should reduce the strain in the muscles. The injection I gave you should relieve the pain for now, but as I've stated before, and will probably state at least 4 more times today, or at least this week, try not to overexert yourself. Give it an hour, go ahead and return, and after that, go ahead and return to the project you are working on.
Thank you, doctor. I'll just relax here for a bit.
Very well. Feel free to lay back. Computer, lower lights on bed 4.
And the lights around the bed lower.
Now, Mr. Giggle, please make sure to update our record for Miss Susan here.
Aye, sir.
including my recommendation for her department to take an entire day's worth of relaxation time once they finish.
Like they care.
Oh, no, no, no. You can convince scientists to relax. You just have to remind them to do so when the time comes.
Well, they're not as worse as engineers, at least.
Yes.
Sometimes they're actually interested in what you're doing to them.
That at least means they're paying attention.
Not if you're cutting open their stomachs.
Well, hopefully you've knocked them out at that point.
Sometimes you have anesthetics, sometimes you don't.
Dr. Demander to Commander Keel. Here, excuse me.
Go ahead, Doctor.
When you get some free time, Commander, would you mind swinging by the sick bay? I'd like to discuss some things with you about the crew stress level. It's not a rush when it's convenient for you.
I will swing by when I can, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Dr. Valen out.
But we could stay here and do the RP when the commander comes down, or we could head over to engineering.
If you'd like to transition over to engineering, we can swing back by whenever the commander gets here.
Sure. All right, we'll head down to engineering. Kane, you have just re-entered engineering after the fun in the cargo bay.
All right, team, guess who's back? Oh, your favorite chief engineer just took a little bit of a stroll and back in the department. Katala, update. Here, I think you traditionally play Katala.
Apologies. What did you say?
Katala, update. What are the status of the repairs?
Like I told you 15 minutes ago, sir, they are ongoing and will be completed within approximately 6 hours.
Excellent. Good work as always. Gardner, how are things on your end?
Oh no. They're fine, sir. Very fine.
Just fine?
Yeah, fine. It's good to have you back, Commander.
I'm glad that you find it good to have me back. He'll walk up to Gardner. You seem a bit nervous. Is
No,
everything
I'm just a bit tired, thank you, sir.
tired? Gardner, there's no tiredness in engineering. We don't get tired.
Of course not, sir. Never.
He'll lean in. You need some more coffee, Gardner?
No, I think I've had enough of your recipes, sir. Thank you. They don't agree with my stomach so much.
All right. Well, the moment you need a pick-me-up, I'll be sure to get a coffee for both of us. Yelena and well, and after this bout of work is complete, maybe we can start planning our Ryza vacation.
Oh,
When
that
you go back.
won't be necessary, sir.
Oh, Gardner, come on. You'll find me a great wingman.
I'm. I. Yes, of course, sir.
He'll put his arm around Gardner. Just imagine it. You, me, Ryza, beach, talking to the ladies, or the men, or non-binary, whatever you're into, Gardner. I don't know you that well. Just hanging out. I'll get you hooked up. You look over at May and Decca. And how are things over here? Whatever you two do?
Oh, look at the time. I need to go check the relays on deck 17. I'll be back, sir.
All right, Decca. Be sure to, get those relays in tip-top shape. All right, chop chop, everybody. We got a lot of work to do. We got to keep this ship going to the maximum that we can possibly get it to. Failure is not an option. Tired really doesn't cut it. All right. Let me know if you guys need anything, or, well, you guys have a bit of free time after shift, actually. If you guys want to go and hang out at the holodeck together, I don't know, we could just throw out a program and, I don't know, kind of just hang, chill as friends.
Commander, I'm sorry to interrupt your holodeck time, but there's a minor plasma leak in the port nacelle.
Huh. And who is supposed to be monitoring repairs, Katala?
Sir. Hiya, I'm informing you that there is a problem.
All right. May, Gardner, stay down here. Katala, you and I are going to go check out this plasma leak. Lead the way.
Aye, aye, sir.
All right, so you all are heading toward the plasma leak.
Yeah, presumably they'll pick up like a engineering repair kit before leaving engineering and then head up there.
All right, so you get to the port nacelle. You guys are in a little walkway in the nacelles, and you definitely could see the minor leak. Like in a single layer across the nacelle. There is, leaking plasma. So like on the very bottom is that plasma mist, and you could see it like steaming out of the wall.
All right, lieutenants. Any repercussions if we temporarily shut down this section and make a quick patch?
Perhaps we should inform the bridge that we need to come out of work.
Mm. Yeah, I guess you're right. I will try to click the macros. Did that make a sound for anybody?
It did not for me.
Not on my side.
I will try to hit the buttons.
There it goes.
I don't know if I just did that, but I'll take it. Gain to bridge.
Bridge here.
We have a small plasma leak that we would like to repair. The ship is currently in warp. We'll need to take her out of warp temporarily and then shut down the plasma flow to this suction. Make a quick patch, and then we should get her up and running soon.
Understood. Bridge to Commander Kane. We are out of warp.
Thank you. He'll tap his comm badge again. Thank you. Kane to engineering.
Yes, this is Gardner, sir.
Gardner, we're going to need you to shut down the plasma flow in section 7.
Yes, sir. On it.
Thanks, Gardner. So, Katala, have you given any more thought to the next cat show? Truth be told, after that last performance, granted it was non-regulation, but you might have a future in that.
To be honest, sir, I was trying to sabotage you.
Well, it worked, and it worked fabulously. Your cat entry was, well, rivaled mine, even if it wasn't quite there. It was a little more practice, a little more training. But you could get there. Maybe, and he'll lean in. They have team competition, if you'd ever consider it.
Cassine, you're the one making the rules, sir. I guess I'll take whatever advantage I can get.
Well, Miss Lieutenant Junior grade, be on the path to becoming a lieutenant pretty soon. All right. He'll check. Is the plasma flow shut down?
Yes.
All right. He's assuming there's a temporary patch in the patch kit. Maybe, something that will hold long enough, to get the actual proper equipment in place. And then he'll attempt to patch it.
All right. Give me a controller daring engineering. We'll call this a difficulty 1 since you're just doing a patch job. Complication 2.
Okay. Emergency repairs for a focus.
I don't think you're an emergency.
Damn it. Do I have anything else? Yeah, I mean, I got propulsion and warp field dynamics, but not sure that counts. Take a threat. And re-rolling that complication.
Boo.
Yeah.
Sorry, coughing fit. You're able to patch it, and you believe it'll be successful.
So you see, Katala, the trick is always in these little welding points right here. You got to have a smooth hand, steady. You got to be confident when you're doing it. Can't slow down. You can't deviate. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand perfectly, sir.
All right. Well, next time we're down here, I'll let you have a crack at it, and seriously, give a lot of thought to that cat show comment. I mean, honestly, I think we could just clean up at the next Starfleet show coming up in about 4 months. Think about it. All right,
I will,
and then he'll pick up the engineering kits, and then head back to engineering. He'll tap his comm badge. Kane to bridge.
Bridge here.
All patched up. I'm about to ask my team to turn on the flow of plasma, and we'll be back up and running shortly.
Understood.
We'll notify you on the bridge when the plasma's up and running. Kane out. And then I'm not sure we need to RP this, but yeah, he'll tap his comm badge and then let Gardner know to turn on the flow again.
And I'll turn it on, and plasma is not leaking.
All right. He'll ask Gardner to just send a quick message up to the bridge and let them know they're good to go.
Speaking of bridge, I think we'll head up to the Commander Kier. You just realizing that the ship dropped out of warp, you came up to get a status check.
Status report.
We dropped out of warp temporarily. Engineering reported a plasma leak in one of the cells and asked that we reduce to impulse while they repaired it. They said the repairs are completed though, and we should be back underway shortly.
Understood. Anything else?
Not currently on sensors.
Commander, do you have a moment? Rick says as he walks up.
I do, in fact. A brief one, but what is it that you need, Lieutenant?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to report to you that we've uncovered some contraband in Cargo Bay 2. Nothing too serious. It was only a restrictive holographic holodeck program. But it was hidden inside a case with a hidden compartment. We will begin an investigation to see if we can find out who requested this box.
Understood. Let me know when you have suspects. Sure, it's probably more than one person handle the box.
Yes, sir. I'll get right on it and report to you when I have more.
Understood. Good luck.
And Rix will leave the bridge again to go back to his duties.
And Commander, as Rick starts to walk away, you start hearing some air message inputs coming from the ops station.
Um, Habs, is everything all right?
Fine, Commander. I just like she's visibly like kind of overwhelmed and frustrated. I just it's fine, Commander. I'll get this in a second.
Take your time. Ensign, are you pulling a double shift today, perhaps?
Yes, ma'am. It's fine, Commander. It's fine.
No, single you relief and go take a break. That's an order.
Commander, I don't need to be relieved. I'm fine.
Ensign, I insist. You need a break.
Yes, ma'am. She'll lock her station, and then, yeah. Well, she'll signal for her relief first, and then lock her station.
All right, then you go off and take your break. Sorry, Commander.
Pierre's gonna take a look at the duty roster for the coming days.
And yeah, the experiment that was alluded to is pulling more of the science people. So some are having to cover the slack as that project is ongoing.
She's gonna sit up to the teams to make sure there's adequate rotation to ensure that no one's working multiple double shifts back to back and they're getting adequate rest.
All right, give me a presence command difficulty 2.
Take a threat. Persuasion for our focus.
Yeah, I
Played
could
it
take.
very persuasively. Like, no,
Yeah,
you
we could do
need to. So people get some breaks.
Non-optional persuasion.
Mandatory fun.
Yep. From the relevant department heads, they give you the "we'll do our best to adhere to your request." All right. We'll go ahead and jump back down to sick bay. We'll call this roughly midday. I'm sure, Doctor, you had to remind the commander that you were wanting to see her. But eventually she finds the time and heads to sick bay and enters your office.
Okay. Am I waiting for the map to change first, or?
Oh yeah, I clicked the scene and I didn't move it. My mistake.
Ah, Commander, welcome. Come in. Tell me,
She walks over, takes a seat, sighs. How
have
can
you noticed
I
that
help
the
you, Doc?
crew is tired lately?
Yes. I've ordered all department heads for a mandatory, make sure no one pulls back-to-back double shifts.
Good.
Just so they was at least trying to get adequate rest. Because I
I'm
just
glad
had
to
to
hear
relieve
that.
the operations officer for a short time.
Hmm. It's up at the bridge, too, then. My sickbay has been what I would call unusually busy with a high level of, well, overworked crew members. I've repaired multiple strains this week, actually, today. And on each and every one of them, I've also done a brief neurological scan. Everyone has elevated levels of cortisol. I don't know how much medicine you know, but that's the stress hormone in most humanoid life. Quite frankly, everyone here needs at least a full day of rest and relaxation. I know some people are on schedules. The scientific department is running some big project that's running their people ragged, but if I have to relocate one more shoulder and, quite frankly, repair another set of muscles, I'm going to start ordering people to be off duty for at least 24 hours.
Unfortunately, we're on a timetable to this
And
worm
I
pig.
I am aware of that, and I understand the needs of this project, but the ship's crew is becoming overtaxed, and tumbling across the finish line usually isn't good for the runner. We need to do something to get the crew de-stressed. I don't know if that means we have to assign people full days off. I know you said you notified department heads to make sure people are getting rest, but people are injuring themselves left and right because they're exhausted, they're stressed, and they're pushing themselves past their limits.
Unfortunately, giving people not doing adequate rotation may end up doubling the crew members' workload.
Um, I understand that, and that does fall purely in your purview. I can only really report what's going on from my point of view. I will also note that a lot of injuries and the highest stress levels have been coming out of engineering for some reason. I wasn't aware they had any kind of project going on, but maybe they're being pulled in for whatever sciences has going. But as personnel assignments are your purview, and I slide a pad across the counter, submitting my recommendations to you.
She grabs the pad. I will definitely look at these recommendations and do my best to fulfill some of these. I cannot guarantee all of them.
Thank you,
As for the problem with engineering, perhaps a conversation with Commander Kane is in order. So, if you excuse me, I will go talk with him, because I am not aware of a project that Commander Kane and engineering staff are working on and maintaining ship functions.
Understood. Thank you for your time, Commander. I'm glad you were able to hear me out.
No problem at all, Doctor. If you excuse me, I will be on my way.
Commander, and make sure you also look after yourself.
Oh, believe me, I tend to relax once my shift is over.
Good to hear. Nurse Keel, a moment, please. Would you come here? Want to make sure I'm not overworking all of you as well. Seems to be going around the ship. I didn't think I was infected by it. And as this scene changes, I'm running a tricorder over um, my Vulcan nurse there.
Did you want to role play it out, or should we head to
Nah,
security?
it's fine. There's just closing flavor on that scene.
Alrighty. So, Rix, where are you doing your investigation at?
Probably doing it in the security complex of the ship, where the evidence is stored.
All right, we'll double the captain's office as your office for now.
Mm.
Wanky.
Just because I don't have like 50 offices.
So he's gonna take one of the holo programs and just put it in the computer and say, "Computer, see if you can identify the author of this holodeck program."
1 second. Asking questions I do not have the details for. All right, so you check to check one of the hollow programs. It is titled Riot in the Neutral Zone.
Hmm.
Come on, words move faster. The author for this one comes up as a Theridin core.
Okay, where would he be
And
established?
I'll give you the details on that here.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm gonna pull up his. Well, I'm assuming I have been pulling up his service record. If I do a comparison with the crew manifest of the Artemis, do I see anyone that has been stationed at the same place as Core in the past?
No. No, the author is pretty old.
Okay.
You're retired, like, so the current crew probably would not have crossed paths with him.
An order, not an acquaintance. Does it say where Core is currently? Last known position.
Probably like retired on Earth or something.
Oh. Okay, Rich is going to do this. He's going to compose a message that he's going to send to Core, but he's going to pretend to be in the message. He's going to pretend to be another junior crew member who has heard about his work from a friend on the Artemis. And see if he could order one of his other programs to the Artemis, or a new one based on some kind of conflict.
Now, do keep in mind that based on your distance from Earth, it will probably take a while to get there. Like days, if not a week.
Yeah, I have other things I want to do after this, but I want to send this.
Okay. Alrighty, just so you're. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a. This is probably going to be a daring command.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and make this since I have all this threat you guys are giving. Let's make it like a difficulty 3.
Okay. I'll give you threat, bold, and I'll buy another dice with momentum. So I have 4 total. I don't know. Would you say espionage or infiltration could work as a focus here?
Yeah.
To be someone else.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Cool. Oh yeah. Like that.
Oh, you rolled. Yeah, you're able to compose the letter, and you believe that it looks like it would come from a junior officer.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna send that away, and after that, I'm gonna concentrate on the cargo itself. I'm gonna investigate the cargo manifest and see where it's been before it arrived on the Artemis. What its line of transportation was.
Go ahead and give me. This will probably be a insight or reason with con. Let's go ahead and make this a diff 2.
Okay. Those are not very strong things, but I'll try anyway.
I should probably have these be assisted by the ship's computers con.
Okay. I'm going to buy 2 dice for this. 2 because it's not my strong suit. I don't think espionage or infiltration. Maybe infiltration could work as a focus. Trying to suss out where in the chain it could be manipulated, so to speak, or where that box could have gotten in, so to speak.
Um,
If you know
I'll
what I
give it
mean.
to you I'll give it to you at increased complication.
Okay. Yeah. And then the ship. Okay, that was the good. There.
All right, you gain a momentum.
Computers calling for the ship.
Yeah, computers con.
1. Okay.
Almost. So this box you probably got when you last resupplied at Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do I know who was? No, actually, could have gotten in after the fact anyway. Okay, let's just do something simple because it occurred to me. Let's see if I have security cameras that was in the cargo bay. I can sift through and see if I can find who entered and got to the box. Probably the
Sorry,
first thing I should have done.
can you say that again?
Security cameras in the cargo bay. See if I can see who got in and got the contents of the box.
Give me an insight or reason security difficulty 1.
I'll give you a threat for bold. Re-rolled 18 just because I can. Okay, 1 success.
All right, you read the security footage, but you do notice that there is a Starfleet personnel going into the box. However, you can't exactly make out who they are. But they are definitely doing it like looking over their shoulder, making sure no one's around, trying to enter the box sneakily.
Do I think it could be enhanced if I enlisted the aid of someone more technically able than me? Oh.
Yeah, ouch.
Do I think I could enhance the picture enough to see who it is if I enlisted the aid of someone more technically capable?
I will say yes.
Okay. Well, I think it's probably gonna be my go-to guy most of the time. So I'm gonna leave my office and head to engineering.
As you pass out of your office, Theric is standing there with a pad and said, "Sir, I attempted to scan the box looking for any fingerprints or DNA traces in there, but after eliminating my own and Petty Officer Hall's, we weren't able to pull anything. Someone cleaned up after themselves, and I'll hand him the pad and move out of frame."
Oh, thank you for making the effort, Chief.
Yes, sir.
As you were.
Right, heading to engineering, yeah?
Yep.
Is Kane back?
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, it says BRB listening in low. So
Hey, just
there.
ran back to the office. So all right. So yeah, Kane will be in engineering.
Commander Kane, we meet again.
Lieutenant, you well, I think you just like to make up excuses to see me.
Yes, they seem to get worryingly increased.
Well,
However, this is, as a matter of fact, a serious matter.
what is it, Lieutenant?
Well, I've found security footage that could reveal who our smuggler is. However, I do need it enhanced. The resolution on the cameras isn't quite enough for possible identification. Who do you have that's technically savvy enough to whip that up for me?
Let's see here. Oh, damn it, Kira, you beat me to it. See if Gardner has it. Nope. And then Katala. Yeah. Kane will look at Rix and just say, well, I think I have the best man for the job, and well, he'll point to himself. That man is me.
I had no doubt, Commander.
Let's see how I can help you today.
I'm gonna pull up the security footage on the display in front of us.
Well, you see Rix. It's as easy as, and then he'll start typing with, yeah, I don't know how technical you want me to get with this, GM, but in order to enhance the footage, I'm assuming that we could probably use some sort of like interpolation for the pixels to, increase the resolution. It'd be making like several guesses potentially, but it might clean it up to like, be able to draw something from it.
Do we just download an AI?
Basically, yeah. Let's use the ship's
there's
AI to interpolate.
there's
It should have
precedent for this.
description.
The Enterprise computer was able to reconstruct someone's face from just like the side of their eye.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was in the one where what was the one with the gatherers where Riker was falling in love with the Sovereign's cook and she turned out to be an unaging murderer or something like that.
Yeah. It's also the other episode where the holodeck could create the image of a person simply from a shadow that was barely seen. In that Georgie episode where it was transformed.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, mechanics wise, let's go ahead and I mean you could technobabble whatever you want here, but the role is going to be a control engineering. Let's go ahead and make this a diff 3 comp 2.
Roll engineering diff 3 comp 2. Alrighty. Will you take computer systems for a focus?
Yeah. And then you could be assisted by the ship's computers engineering.
Gotcha. All right, so it's so seems like this would be very important to progressing the rest of the game, so I want to make sure to get this. Take a threat for the third die, and then will you let me use a momentum and give you another threat for number 4?
Yep.
Cool.
So 2 threat for me and 1 momentum?
Correct. All right, so we'll roll this one, and then we'll do the shot. And definitely re-rolling that complication. Okay, and then the shove. Pull it up. And then you said computers engineering?
Yep.
Coolio. Remind me, does the ship always have a focus for this?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, dear God, ship. Gain 2 momentum. And as you are waiting for the computer to do its thing, I'll post the name. The image does clear up, and it reveals the image of one crewman Jason Thorne.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, Lieutenant, we have your man.
Yes, and his days going to get quite worse in the next few minutes. Thank you very much, Mr. Kane. I'll take it from here.
Anytime, Lieutenant. And if you need me to help out, I can bring a phaser if you want some backup.
That will be necessary, Commander. I do have a security team for just this purpose.
One of these days, you'll let me shoot somebody, Lieutenant. All right. Well,
I
let me
can
know
help
if you need anything. Understood.
And Rix is gonna exit engineering. In the meanwhile, Lieutenant Rix to Commander Kier.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
We have found out who our smuggler is on board. Request permission to apprehend the suspect.
Very well. I'm assuming the suspect also may have accomplices, so follow Starfleet procedure, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir. Rick's out. Rick's to Hull and Thrasan. Please meet me in the security complex as soon as you can.
On my way, sir.
Yes, sir.
Computer, locate crewman Jason Thorne.
Crewman Thorne is in shuttle bay. Is in the shuttle bay.
Very well. Rix will meet up with the security team and then head to that location.
Before we head there, is there anyone that would like to volunteer to play Crewman Thorne?
I mean, I can play Thorn if no one else wants to. All right, let's read this.
Just a little bit of a personality background.
Yeah. No, it's helpful. What department is he with?
Basically he's like a shuttle pilot.
Okay.
Or either a shuttle pilot or like works on the shuttlecrafts, whatever you wanted to go with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, I don't think I have a shuttle bay. Theater of the Mind it is. So who were you bringing with you?
Thrasan and Hull. Although if Kane, I don't know if you want to play both or if I can just take Thrasan. If that's easier for you.
Well, the captain could play a Belarus if you want.
Yeah, that works too.
Get the commander. That'll go ahead and be him.
What do we see him doing as we enter?
He's inspecting one of the shuttles.
So before we approach, I'm just gonna make a gesture for my fellow security officers to just surround him so he doesn't attempt to run away. In case he attempts to run away.
It seemed to
Basically
be
back him up against the shuttle he's working on.
I seem to have Theric linked together with Zendus.
Just like drag click somewhere off of the tokens and it should fix it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Crewman Thorne.
He'll turn around. Yes. How can I help you?
You are hereby under arrest for attempted smuggling.
Excuse me? Attempted smuggling of what?
Illicit contraband. Restrictive holodeck programs.
Now, wait a second. Contraband? Holodeck program? What are you talking about?
There's no use hiding it, Mr. Thorne. We have you on tape, so to speak.
Can I see this? You're accusing me of something pretty serious.
Please do not attempt to escape and follow us to the brig.
No, seriously, wait a second. Contraband? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Are you gonna come with us peacefully?
Sure. Sure. Why add another charge to a charge of contraband?
What is this with you, Mr. Thorne? Please follow me.
Lead the way.
I'm just gonna escort him to the brig of the ship.
You do understand that when this is all said and done, you're going to have the wrong guy, and I'm going to be late on this shuttle inspection.
You'll have plenty of opportunity to prove your innocence, if that now is accurate.
He'll walk behind Rex. So what is this contraband that you're accusing me of?
Restrictive hologram programs.
What programs?
You tell me.
I don't know. You're the one accusing.
The sooner you confess, Mr. Thorne, the easier it will be for you.
He'll look to his left and right. Look, I'm not going to fight you. All right? I'm not going to fight this. Look, okay? Restricted holodeck content doesn't sound that bad, though. Right? I mean, is that a serious crime?
Perhaps not, but attempted smuggling on board ship is.
Crewman Thorne, we found a hidden compartment inside a cargo container. Inside of that compartment was a holographic matrix with several saved programs on it.
All right, fine. I suppose I'll come in for questioning.
And the group eventually make their way to wherever it was you were heading.
Back to security.
Yeah, we're taking him to the brig, basically.
Okay. And yeah, you get there.
Mr. Fasson, while I'm conducting the interrogation, would you please go to the crewman's quarters and search it? So, Mr. Thorne, I'd first like to ask you where you were on, I'm going to say the time and date on which I saw him in the security camera recording.
Well, I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
No, you have to tell me.
I was on my duty shift.
Do you have an alibi for this?
Of course I do. I signed for duty. I'm sure the other crewmates would vouch for where I was and what I was doing. Well, probably just inspecting a shuttle again. Every other day.
Please mention exact names so I can ask them later.
Crewman Fairchild, Crewman Vizelon, Petty Officer Buffon.
Thank you.
Of course. Look, Lieutenant, I don't know exactly what you think you're doing here. You have a video of me or something?
Yes, we have evidence that you were at the crime scene. Well, crime scene. That you were in the cargo hold and opened the box in question, which contained the smuggled in holodeck programs.
And I suppose you believe this is rock solid evidence that could never have been manipulated.
Why, does someone have something against you that I should know?
I don't believe
Try to
so.
implicate you?
I don't believe so. I haven't been around long enough to make many enemies. Honestly, I've just been doing my job and, well, trying to get through it.
Well, then answer me this. How often do you use the holodeck?
Lieutenant, look, he'll lean in. As much as I can get, to be honest, you first post on a ship, they have me out here doing shuttle inspections every day. It always comes back fine. All systems are nominal. I'm bored. I'm at the holodeck all the time.
When was the last time you accessed that?
A few days ago, I guess.
Exact day, please, if you can.
What was the exact date that the footage was taken?
You guys could just make that up. The when is irrelevant.
Okay. I'm going to scroll up and then find the start date. So I'm not completely making stuff up. Start date 48501.4.
What program were you running at that time?
Just your standard stuff.
Exact name of the program, if you please.
I really don't remember, Lieutenant. I'm there all the time.
Very well.
All right, look, Lieutenant, don't you get bored out here sometimes?
My boredom is of no relevance to this case, Corman.
No, but honestly, like, when you signed up for Starfleet, did you think it was just going to be this all the time? What were you doing your first posting on ship? What do they have you doing?
Mr. Thorne, why are you running extremely violent holodeck programs? Why did you have them commissioned by a author core? Would this be because of your boredom?
Sir, is it common when an admission is made to lessen the punishment?
Can you say that again, Kate?
Yeah, he'll say, is it common when an admission is made that the punishment is lessened by Starfleet?
It can surely worsen your situation. And the longer you make this go on, the worse it will get.
Lieutenant, look, I get really bored. Inspecting shuttles all the time, doing the grunt work. Did you really think that this would just be basically all it was when we joined Starfleet? Thought we were all looking for a little excitement. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm totally committed to the fleet. I want to make this my career and this is my passion, but I just go stir crazy doing the same thing day in and day out. I mean, yeah, look, maybe it's a little on the more extreme side, but it's off duty and it's just me.
So you are confessing that these programs are yours.
You start off with phaser training that they give to everybody, and you get into some murder mysteries, and I was just looking for something to alleviate a little boredom, Lieutenant. I'm
A
not,
simple yes or no will suffice, crewman.
Lieutenant, I'm not hurting anyone, okay? That's why it's in the holodeck, right?
Crewman,
Yes.
I'm not concerned about what you're doing on the holodeck. What I'm concerned with is that you smuggled something aboard this ship without anyone's knowledge. That is the crime here, not what you have going on in the holodeck. Do you understand?
I do. And I'll hold you to that. The content itself is not the concern here, but smuggling is. Fine. Yes. I got it on the ship. I'm incredibly bored, and I was looking for a way to, I don't know, have a little excitement for once.
How did you get it on the ship?
Well, I mean, the way you found it. Built a compartment into a box, a regular shipment to and from Starbase, and well, got it on that way.
Who got it on here for you? You can't have been acting alone.
That I couldn't tell you. These requests are made anonymously. It's you put a request out, they give you a synopsis, they give you a title, tell you it's going to be good, and then you say yes or no, and then you tell them where the drop is going to be made. It's all anonymous. As long as it's good content, I don't really care.
What do you do with the box after you received your programs?
With the box in the cargo bay?
Yes. Is it sent back, or do you keep it and destroy it?
It's sent back. I don't know how to destroy the box.
Who do you address the box to?
I drop it in cargo bay. I try to put it back into the same spot and area, but I don't have access to the manifest. I don't have access to the inventory. I don't know where it's supposed to go. I pull the box, I open it, I take what I've requested, and then I drop it back in cargo bay.
All right, Mr. Thorne. I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to make sure that your punishment for smuggling the programs onto the ship is lessened if you cooperate in finding out who and how is sending these boxes containing the contraband. I want you to, in normal order, send back the box in the way you used to. But in this case, we will plant a homing device on the box so we can see where it goes, who it goes to. How does that sound for you, Mr. Thorne?
Look, whatever I need to do, I'll do it. But look, I have nothing on my service record.
Crewman, the less you say right now, the better. A simple yes will suffice.
Yes, Lieutenant. I'll agree to help.
Good. Stay here. Well, you can't go anywhere. I'll be back. Lieutenant Rix to Commander Keir.
Go ahead.
Commander, the suspect has been apprehended and he has confessed. I also have a suggestion of what to do next. Please find me when you have the time.
Understood. Give me 15 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Rix out.
All right, Rix, you were going to meet with the commander?
Yeah.
All right, while all that is going on, we'll head back to engineering. Yeah, so we will have Kier enter engineering.
Commander Kane, can I speak with you privately?
Sure thing, Commander. You look around to the team. All right, everybody keep up the good work. We'll scan around. What can I do for you, Commander?
It has been brought to my attention. Handheld departments are currently being overworked. Yours is at the top of the list.
Okay.
I would very much like you to ease up on the schedules the best you can to not overwork the departments. Mistakes are being made and is causing a issue with medical.
Okay. Point taken, Commander, but he'll look around to his team, who probably have bags under their eyes and are visibly stressed out. My team seems to be operating at peak efficiency. Granted, yeah, ride them a little hard sometimes, but they have to know their limits.
I think the limit has been reached, Commander.
All right, Commander. I'll see what I can do. Frankly, there's a lot of work to be done. I do put a lot of pressure on my team, but there's a lot of stuff that we need to do.
And some of that could be offloaded to the other shifts.
All right. All right. I'll review the schedule and I'll make sure everyone has a little bit more rest.
Appreciate it, Commander. Excuse me, I have another fire to put out.
Of course, sir.
Just as you're turning to walk and leave, Commander Kier, alarm bells start going off in engineering as little loud, thank you. As several of the plasma conduits that lead out of engineering suddenly spring leaks of their own, venting plasma into engineering around the warp.
All right, Kane will run over. All right, everyone, we're shutting it down. Safety protocols in place. Katala, you know the drill. See what we can do to power this down and then stop the flow of plasma. Yep, exactly, Kier. All right, so engineering is going to set about cycling power down so they can shut down the plasma flow in the section, try to get a repair.
All right, so what are you wanting to do?
So, I guess I should ask this first and foremost. Is it a leak, or is it more like it's actually like opening up and going to flood the department?
Probably the second option.
Fuck. Okay. Based on Kane's knowledge of engineering, does he think everyone's in danger in this department?
I'll put it this way: you probably are on a clock.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So what he's going to try to do is probably put the warp core in a state of low power. He's going to actually, I got to ask this too. Is the ship currently at warp?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. He's going to look over at Commander. Commander, we're going to have to take the Artemis out of warp. We're going to have to put this in a low power state to get these repairs going.
Do what you need to do.
Tap his comm badge. I'm going to hit all of the macros and hope they make a sound.
I'm not hearing any from you. There's one.
That was not me. Thank you, whoever that was. Engineering to bridge.
Bridge here.
Bridge, we got to take the Artemis out of warp right now. We've got a leak down here we have to address.
And you hear the warp core. Basically, you hear the ship drop out of warp, and the engines, and the warp core sounds accordingly.
Okay. Yeah, he will. He's on the main warp station. Call us over repairs. Gardner's transporters, replicators. Who? System maintenance, troubleshooting, APS. Okay. So he's going to turn to Deca and just say, Deca, we're going to bring the warp core into a state of low power. We're going to power everything down and knock emergency power to the core systems on the ship until we get these repairs made.
All right. So what we'll do here is we'll do it's time to extend a task.
Mm-hmm.
This will be daring engineering, work 12, difficulty 3, complication 2, resistance 1. You'll have 6 time intervals.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, give me just 1 sec. Got to read over my talents again. Okay, cool. Right. You said assisted by the ship?
No, because you're doing it to the.
Damn it. Good call. Could I get an assist from one of my engineering crewmates, crew members?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming this would fall under emergency repairs.
Yes, this is an emergency repair.
Okay. You know what? This is probably a good opportunity. Let's see here. Would you accept determination stones?
I
Again,
sure would.
okay.
What's the value?
I would say act with confidence even if you don't feel confident.
Yeah, well, we could use that.
Okay, thanks. All right, so 2 successes under the new rules. We'll just do the 1 momentum, 2 threat thing again. That way I get a reroll. And then I think I have, yeah, I have some talents I can use for this, but we'll start with this.
Then you do get one assist from somebody.
Who's feeling lucky?
Come rolls for May. It's Tyrannus Dan, right?
Yep.
Emergency repairs.
Yep. All right, gain 3 momentum. Your engineering is 5, yeah. So right now you are doing 4 work.
Work 12, 3, comp 2. So I do an extended task probably once every 3 months at this rate. So would piercing be worth it at this point?
I don't know if there is piercing anymore. Hold on.
Damn it.
There's that piercing. You could do extra work. To gain the effect of piercing, you need to cast some sort of trait.
Okay. And it's just 1 success spend for 1 extra work, or no?
It's 2 momentum.
For 1 extra work. Okay. And then to extend the interval, well, we have 6, right?
Yeah, but you can spend 1 momentum to decrease the interval.
Gotcha. Okay. And then what would it decrease to?
So every task takes 2 intervals. It would just drop the interval by 1, so you'd still have 5 intervals left.
Okay. So we're doing 4 work. Yeah, let's pump 1 into reduce the interval. So we'd have 5. What is that? 8, and then we could dump the other one and just make it 7 work left. Try to scan my talent stuff. That's reroute power. Nobody cares. Already determined the source of the technical problem. One momentum to reroll a d20. Okay, cool. I'll have that in my back pocket. Yeah, I mean, for the first rounds, can't use testing theory, can't use the chief engineer's talent. It wouldn't make sense at least. So let's do it again.
All right, 1 second.
Okay.
So you did 4 work, so you have 8 work left. As you start working the problem, the leak starts to expand as the old plasma conduits start to tear away, causing more plasma to spill out and more plasma smog to start filling the chamber. If everyone can give me a fitness medicine, we'll call this a difficulty 1, that are in here.
Okay. Would you accept survival for focus?
Yeah, I will.
And I just realized I didn't hit the determination thing when I rolled, so I'll save that for the next one.
All right, so yeah, so just all the characters in here, if they could give me that roll.
I'll roll for Denka.
For May, I'm gonna give you 3 threat.
dear God, May. Gain 3 momentum.
Damn.
All right, you said it was medicine fitness. You said medicine fitness on the roll, right?
Yes, difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. Okay.
Well, everybody's dead.
All your team are dead.
I was about to say, except May and Kane. All right, Commander.
All right, so this would technically be an injury for all those that failed.
Well, Katala and Tekka do not have stress. So, is it lethal?
Not right now.
Then they're considered defeated.
Yeah.
If it was lethal, they would be dead.
Yeah, not lethal. Just having a hard time breathing.
They're incapacitated in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And Deca? And wasn't there one more that did not get successes? Right, I believe he
But
could
he has
technically
stress.
avoid.
Yes, he can terminate avoid because he has stress.
Okay.
No, he doesn't use the momentum for that.
There'll probably be a injury of 3 stress if you want to avoid, or you could take it.
He'll take the 3 stress. He has 4 stress, so can actually take it. See.
Alrighty. All right, now we could try the next roll.
Alrighty. Great.
But before you do, since I have all this lovely threat, and since this is causing more problems, I'm going to up the difficulty to 4 and the complication to 3.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, you keep giving me all the lovely threat.
Well, we rolled in with a decent amount of threat from last game. I wasn't here, but you're gonna get more threat. So, okay. So yeah, we're down to 8 work after that was completed. But we did have the 3 excess, right? So 1 went into reducing the complication, interval 5, and then the other 2 went in to doing more work, right? So that would be 7 work total left.
Oh, you did do other things. Okay, so so you decreased the comp, and then you did another work, right?
Sure.
Is that what you just told me?
Yeah, if I can decrease the comp, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so it'll still be comp 2, and then you got 7 work left.
Okay.
Still the diff 4.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So he'd like to use testing a theory to kick this off.
Yep, that would apply.
Okay. So first one purchased is free. That's taking up to 3. I'm going to use a focus. And then he will use his determination. So I didn't click it last time. So it is the additional D20 from testing a theory bought as a momentum, or is it as a threat? Or does it just not apply?
It's free, so I don't think it's either.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, bold engineering, I have to use threat. So I guess take a combination of 1 momentum and 1 threat to get to 4 dice.
You have the Cochrane Medal of Excellence too.
Yeah, I got to see what that does. So it's in computer systems, is what I chose. So could I still apply it to this? Oh, it must relate to the scientific or engineering field they are in the medal for. Okay, so I unfortunately don't think I can use it.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll take another roll.
Seven successes. Jeebus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Oh, 9. Thank you, May.
All right. Gain 5.
Okay. So how much work am I currently doing?
Still 4.
Okay. So that's 7 minus 4 is down to 3.
Yep.
Can't I just dump all the excess into finishing it?
I believe you can only do that once. Let me just double check that though,
Okay.
because I know they changed some things. Like it used to be repeatable, but I want to say they took that up. But let me double check here.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously that would be my move.
And just like the other rulebook, I got to check like 4 places to get the answer I'm seeking.
No worries. Kier, would you know?
I was under the impression it was repeatable for momentum spend.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. It just, extended tasks are on 271, 331, 268, 271, 329. So it's like, where do I look to find this?
It's 271 additional progress repeatable during the extend task. Add 1 impact for 2 momentum.
Does feel like that should be one of the quick reference cards they put out for the game kit.
Yeah. At least the table somewhere, I wish they would have like an appendium for all this. Yep, additional progress repeatable. Cool. So yes, you can.
Nice. Okay. So 4 work, so that would take it down to 3. And then it would be 2 earned momentum for each additional work. So I would need 6, right?
My question is, did you spend any momentum?
I did. I spent 1.
I have spent 1, so we're at technically 7
Oh,
momentum.
okay. So I could dump it and finish the. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you were at, but you were at 5 gain from the roll. And then you just dumped everything into it.
Yeah, I think that's the play because I don't think we can risk another set of injuries like that.
Already. So your team works frantically to emergency patch the leak, and you were able to very quickly, because you probably have run through these drills multiple times. You and your team are able to get that taken care of.
All right. Good work, team. He'll tap his comm badge. I will click all the buttons. Thank you. Engineering to medical.
Go ahead.
We have 2 engineering crew members down up here. We're going to need some help quickly.
On my way.
Then he'll tap his comm badge again. Hand to Commander Kier.
Go ahead.
Commanders, you no doubt potentially have seen or heard the warnings. We had a bit of a leak down here in engineering. It's taken care of now. My crew's had it patched up. We'll get the ship back online momentarily, but I did want to report 2 injuries that medical is currently addressing.
Understood.
You'll have a full report, Commander.
And I will take medical kit and head there, and I'll take y'all with me.
Take who?
The Vulcan. That one.
And Doctor, you get there and you kind of cough a little bit as you do breathe in the remnants of the plasma fumes.
Computer, activate ventilation system. And I will instruct y'all to go check on Denka, and I will move over to Sital.
All right, we'll give you, Doctor, and Kial here a daring medicine. I have all this threat. Diff 2 to stabilize.
Okay. I have emergency medicine,
Yes.
and I would like to buy a die with a focus, please. Or not with a
Using
focus, with a
momentum or
momentum. The other word. All right. And Kial also has emergency medicine. Do you want me to roll for her as well, or someone else want to grab her?
actually, she could just assist. Now that I think about it,
Okay.
makes sense that she would assist here. Get 2 momentum. You're able to stabilize them, but they do have some. What's the word for plasma smoke inhalation?
Smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
Might have some minor burns on the inside of their lungs if they were directly breathing in the fire, but smoke inhalation. Let's see. Doctor to medical, two gurneys down here, please.
Right away, doctor.
Go ahead and get that one ready for get them ready for transport. And let's see.
Here comes your medical team with the gurney.
And I will hit both of them with the dermalin injection to help with any burns on the surface. And both Denka and Katal will be escorted to my sick bay.
All right. Doctor, you're able to clear both patients out to sick bay. We'll head over with you in a minute. Anything else you would like to?
I'm going to go with them. They are in need of my immediate attention. I'm going to leave Kial here to check over the rest of the engineers and make sure they're all fine.
Excellent.
Because I believe Gardner took some stress damage too.
That is correct. All right. So Kane, the doctor, rushes out, taking your injured crew. What are you going? Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I mean, he'll look around, do a quick assessment from the ship to ensure everything's in order, ensure that the patch will hold for a decent amount of time until we can get new equipment to replace it. And then, yeah, try to understand the nature of exactly what went wrong.
Level 3 diagnostic on the EPS system.
Yep, diving deep.
right.
No, Jim, he's just going to investigate a bit more.
Okay, I'll just do the roll really quick, and then I'll give you the info to be used for later.
Gotcha.
This will probably be a reason or insight, engineering difficulty 3.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few focuses. Computer systems, warp field dynamics, propulsion.
This is more like a troubleshooting.
Okay.
You have
All right.
diagnostics?
No, unfortunately. All right. Well, if you'll take testing a theory, I'll get my free D20 out of that.
I'll take it.
Awesome. All right, and then to buy the next one, because I want to get bold. Momentum and 1 threat.
Jeeps.
I know.
Gain 2.
Didn't even need it.
Let me just double check here. All right, I'll type out what you got here to be used for a later thing I want to do. Then in the meantime, Rix and Commander, what are you guys doing next for your part? I'm gonna head to 6 Bay, but just to know.
Well, I think Rex is just waiting in his office at the moment.
Okay. We'll do that scene after the 6 Bays. All right, we'll head to 6 Bay. Doctor, you and your team just bring the 2 injured to 6 Bay.
Okay.
I'll open the floor up to you.
All right. Bring them in, get them transferred over to the med beds. Mr. Giggle, would you get the excuse me, burn chamber set up for me?
Yes, Doctor.
Thank you. All right. Divas, will you get some dermaline gel set up for me, please, as well?
Is
All right.
anybody playing her? I guess not. I'll play her.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and have the biobeds run a scan on both of them.
All right, give me an insight or reason medicine. We'll call this a difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's sensors and medicine.
Fantastic. All right. And I'm assuming emergency medicine is still applying here.
Yes.
All right. I will buy 1 die for the cautious as well. And let's see. Ship. There it is.
And then because the ship has advanced sensors, you roll 2 dice for the ship.
Okay.
That's the change from between first and second edition for the advanced sensors.
I didn't know that would work for this. I thought that would be a medical lab thing.
Yeah, whenever the ship uses sensors.
Okay.
All right, gain 4. Doctor, you start running a scan on both of the injured crew members, and yeah, you're right. It did look like they breathed in a sizable amount of the plasma fumes. So they're definitely, their lungs are filled with it. They are having a bit. They are having a difficult time breathing. So you have to come up with a plausible treatment in order to deal with that.
Okay.
Doctor, babble away.
Dr. Babble away. Let's see. Give me just a second here. All right. Do they have any external burns, or is it just the smoke inhalation that they're suffering from?
I'll take that as a good question. Since they were not close to the plasma, they are not burned. It's just the inhalation of the fumes.
Okay. Then I'm going to start them on. Well, first I'm going to specifically scan their lungs, target the or figure out the extent of the damage in each of them. Let's see, probably not going to need the burn chamber if they don't have any external burns. Does it look like it's bad enough that we're going to have to do a surgery, or do I think that a simple drug regimen will take care of this?
Go ahead and give me an insight or reason medicine. I'll call this a difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. Okay. I will buy a die again with momentum.
Oh, didn't you gain a bunch from the last one?
I did.
I don't think it was ever ticked up. It looks like you gained 4. And then you bought one. Okay. All right. You believe that you could probably set up a drug treatment for each.
Okay. I am going to get a couple of hypo sprays ready. And also a couple of injections of Sterilit. Make sure there's no secondary infections going on.
All right. I will make this a control or daring medicine difficulty 1, complication 3 to treat.
Comp 3. Okay.
I
You
had
said
threat.
control or daring?
Yes.
I will
This
do-
is to actually administer your treatment.
Okay. Would this fall under surgery or still emergency medicine?
We'll keep it emergency medicine.
Okay. You said diff 3 or comp range 3?
Comp range 3. Difficulty
Comp
1, comp range 3. All right.
And that's going to be the preliminary. I'm going to then set them up on a nanomolecular regimen. Basically, a bunch of little bugs are going to go pluck out of all the soot out of their lungs for them.
Ah, yes, with your nano stuff, huh?
My nanobiology specialty, yes.
All right. I will give this a difficulty. I'll give this a daring medicine difficulty 2, complication 2.
Okay. Diff 2, comp 2. Cautious for an extra die. And I'm debating if I want to invoke my cutting edge medicine talent. No. Okay. And I want to re-roll that 16. All right. The dice said it's 16.
Yep. The dice always know. You still gain 1.
Mhm.
And doctor, as soon as you start to administer your your
Nanobots.
nanobot treatment, they almost instantly start to breathe a lot better. And you have effectively cut their recovery time essentially in half.
All right. I'm going to keep them in sick bay for at least an hour while these things work, and I will reassess them at the end of that hour and see what their progress is.
All right, very good. We'll head to the commander's office. As Rix, you enter. Yeah, Commander, you probably just walked up here from engineering. heard about the fire that happened down there, and you get a... Ooh, do I not have a door gem? There it is.
Enter.
Commander, do you have time?
Nothing like the present, Lieutenant.
Well, as I reported earlier, we have apprehended crewman Jason Thorne, and he has confessed to smuggling these hologram programs on board. I do have a request, however, that we use this as an opportunity to seek out who sent these contraband boxes in the first place. Mr. Thorne has informed me that he usually sends these boxes back to where they came from, and I suggest that we do so this time as well. However, this time we will plant a homing beacon in the box. See where it ends up, and if we can apprehend the original source that sent these.
I'm assuming goes to a starbase, this box, or another station.
Well, it did appear that we picked this box up at Deep Space Nine, but I don't know how widespread these things are, which is part of the reason why I'd like your permission to go ahead with this proposal.
Unfortunately, that we might be crossing some boundaries there. Deep Space Nine is technically part of the Bajoran government. While Starfleet runs the station, certain aspects of the station fall under Bajoran rights. You'll
not
need to
convinced
probably work.
Go ahead.
My suggestion is you will have to work with the head of security on Deep Space Nine to conduct this investigation. I also can't just bring the ship headed back to Deep Space Nine on a whim, either.
Well, Commander, I'm not suggesting we go out of our way to make this investigation. I'm also not convinced that this is confined solely to Deep Space Nine. My suggestion is simply that we let Thorne do what he originally planned to do. However, that we passively observe by planting a homing beacon with the cargo box and see where it goes. No more than that.
I am fine with it, but I think you're going to have to rope in other security teams in on this, which, well, could potentially compromise the investigation.
Well, at this point, sir, this is only an intelligence gathering operation, if you'd want to call it that. If there is some kind of apprehension or arrest to be made, I will, of course, consult the authorities that this is relevant to. My thinking is simply that we had an opportunity here to go beyond our own security and find the source of whatever these contrabands are coming from, and presumably is also affecting other ships in Federation space. Do I have your permission to go ahead, Commander?
Yes, but that crate won't be returned until we go back to port.
Yes, sir. What would you like me to do with Mr. Thorne?
What do you think the adequate punishment should be?
Well, since he will be collaborating with us on this operation, he would at least be sentenced to stay in the brig for at least a month for his inappropriate actions, at the very least.
Unfortunately, I need every crew member possible on this out. Restricted is the duty, and he's to begin cleaning plasma conduits for the next month.
In that case, I would also propose to add non-holodeck privileges for a month. He needs to be taught a lesson.
I have a good idea. Have a report to Commander Kane. He's not to leave UB under. He's only allowed to wander the ship while on duty, but he can only be, to be with somebody, and he'll be refrained to chorus for the next month during this time.
Understood, ma'am. I'll have it done. Thank you.
You dismiss, Lieutenant, if there's nothing else.
No, I'll leave you to it. He makes a attention, goes to attention, and then leaves.
All right. Is there anything else anybody wanted to do before I go to the last scene here?
I'm good.
Commander will have a word with the science team leader on this wormhole project.
I think we can make use of the observation lounge for. All right. Yeah, Commander, you'll come into the observation lounge where you see
No,
the sign
she would have.
talking.
She
Oh,
would
what's that?
ask him to report. She would ask him to report to her office.
Oh, okay.
Like this month. Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever wants to take, I guess, one of the supports and go to the captain, the commander's office.
Well, it's me, right? Because you're asking for the person who
Oh,
was in the argument in the first scene, right?
Yes.
So that would be me.
all right. Then.
Is it this guy? No.
I gotta. So I just use random science officer, and every
It's that
time I
guy.
drag one into the scene, it just puts a random picture. So I gotta do this until I find the token.
No, it's this guy.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to set it up here.
Okay. It's getting
They're
crowded.
cloning.
Oh my God, they're spawning.
There it is. That's the one.
Yeah.
On the top right.
You can
Part.
right click on the token, and then there's the right hand side. You can then select the image.
It's upside down.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. But yeah, science officers outside the office.
Chirp.
Enter.
Oh, I can't move them. Yes, Commander. What is it you needed?
Currently, we have a situation. It involves your department.
Oh,
See, in order to keep the ship running properly and smoothly, you have requested your science teams to, well, pull double duty on the science project, which you're also pulling from other departments to also work double shifts. So I
well, of
need,
course, it's needed for this project to be successful.
yes, we nearly had a catastrophe in engineering today as a result of people being overworked.
Well, I mean, that can't be had. This project needs to succeed at all costs.
No, this project does not need to succeed at all costs.
Commander, this is highly. This is it's top priority from the Federation Science Council and the Daystrom Institute.
And this is the only project in the entire fleet that's happening with micro wormholes. Are there not other ships participating in this?
I mean, not to this fine scale. It's incredibly sensitive research that could groundbreak a number of technologies that could be useful for the Federation.
Yes, and exactly what is your department doing?
Well, we're maintaining the satellite, making sure it's completely ready for deployment. We're boosting scanner resolutions, making sure everything is tip-top for the deployment so we can get an as accurate scan as possible.
And that takes 10 days to do all of that work.
Well, it's partly that, and we have to. The wormhole itself needs to get big enough for us to study, which takes about 5 days, and after that it takes about 5 days to study it. At which time we need to be tip-top shape for those 5 days onwards. It's incredibly important.
Look, Lieutenant, this ship may not be able to move for the next day or two, which means you will be missing your opportunity. Because we
No,
nearly had a
we
warp
can't go
core
that
breach.
far. I mean, I was assured that this ship would be in range of the phenomenon at all times.
We've been at warp
Yes, well, we don't need to stay at one place at all times, but we need to stay within a certain range. So as long as we don't wander too far, it will still be possible for us to conduct the research.
I am giving you direct order. You are to relax the crew requirements for this research to be able to maintain crew efficiency.
Commander, this will significantly reduce the. I mean,
Overworked individuals will significantly reduce your research progress, Lieutenant. I am not about to compromise this ship for the sake of your ego.
well, 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 now that you put so bluntly, Commander, I foresee what I can do. Uh,
You're dismissed.
thank you, Commander. This way here, yes. Yes, goodbye. Oh boy. And he leaves.
All right, now anything else?
I'd like to check on the status of my patients before we go.
I'll give you a quick message for that.
Okay.
Just so you get some RP fodder.
Excellent.
All right, we'll head to the briefing room. This is probably happening at the end of the Alpha shift. You know, the final briefing for today as the commander walks in, looking very stressed and annoyed, I am sure.
Status report.
My two
Commander,
patients are recovering quite well. The nanobiology treatment I gave them has purged about 90% of the remaining foreign objects in their lungs. I will have them released by this evening.
Commander, from my side, we have the leaks completely repaired at this point. Well, I say completely repaired, I should say patched. We're waiting on, well, some engineering supplies, quite frankly. That way we can replace the full plasma routing and make a number of other repairs to the ship to make sure that we won't have a leak like this again. And I've given my crew some rest time. Well, those that aren't in sick bay right now.
Commander, my staff has finished going through all the cargo bays checking the manifests. Then, except for our little contraband investigation, we find no other abnormalities. As for our smuggler, Mr. Kane, I have someone to introduce you to starting next shift, who I'm sure will be very pleased to work under you for the foreseeable month. Other than that, everything is normal.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to commend you on your work today. As per my recommendation from earlier, please work on your duty rosters to ensure that your departments are getting well rested. It's a point that we can have find a place for surely for the crew. Clearly, we've all been overworked lately.
Commander, if I may. We've got a repair plan going, but the Artemis is really starting to show her age. I took a log of all the repair activities that Katala has performed and planned for the upcoming months. Honestly, my crew is some of the best in the fleet. I would vouch for them at every turn. It's just becoming more frequent, and it's taking more resources each and every time. I'd strongly recommend us making some plans to go to Starbase and make the full scope
overhaul?
of the situation known. An overhaul could be on the docket. I would recommend us clearly letting Starfleet know, and obviously they can make the decision, but these issues might become more frequent.
Put a complete report together with your recommendation, and I will submit it with Starfleet Command. And you'll need to submit it with the Starfleet Engineering Corps. The fleet is rather busy currently with upgrades and maintenance.
Understood, sir.
If there's any other recommendations to the efficiency and or needed maintenance or upgrades to the ship, please submit them forward. And I will hopefully pass them along.
Hi, Commander.
No other recommendations from sickbay.
Be sure to prepare the report, Commander.
If there's nothing else, gentlemen, you're dismissed.
Aye, sir.
And with that, I believe we'll call that the end of what turned out to be anything but routine.